Hi guys, Arsene here. Today's hook is most plumbers don't track leads. And this is based on the conversations that I have normally on the discovery calls with other plumbers. Actually, recently I had a chat with one plumber that actually wanted to grow their business. And one of the things that they mentioned to me is that they said, I know we get calls, but honestly, I have no idea which ones turned into jobs. My wife just writes them in a notebook by the phone. I still want to grow though. This is extremely common, and today I would really want to discuss this specific topic. So, if you are running a plumbing business and you're a contractor and you are not tracking your leads, this video is definitely for you because today we're going to discuss why it's important to do that and what are the benefits about this, right? And if you already are tracking, then it's probably not really for you because today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of what exactly is positive about tracking your leads, right? So first of all, the problem is that a lot of plumbers they just remember a few calls. Maybe at the best they just have their notepad with them and they just pretty much just write the contacts down, and then they don't really track it as a sort of like a pipeline way, or they don't really understand who to follow up with. Especially when it gets bigger and bigger, right? And the ambitious guys that are watching me here, which I'm pretty sure they are there, if you're still using the notebook, you pretty much can already understand that it's very hard to, first of all, remember, and second of all, be consistent with following up with somebody or actually closing the job if you don't really see this mapped out clearly on what exactly should be done. Obviously, on a smaller amount of leads, it's absolutely possible, but on a larger one, especially when you're trying to scale, when you have a small team in place, it's way harder, right? No wonder why jobs vanish, why you can't really close as much as you want and you can't really grow as much as you want, right? And the thing here, without tracking, you don't see, first of all, how many quotes actually get sent, especially if you're doing installations, it's extremely important. How many go cold, and also where you are losing jobs exactly, which is extremely important. You don't really see at which stage of the sales process you actually are losing jobs, right? And it can often feel like this is a lead problem, especially if you want to scale, right? Especially if you want, for example, to double or triple the business, which is very common right now with the deployment businesses that I have a chat with. But oftentimes, when you're not tracking leads, the problem is that is not with the amount of leads that you're getting, but with the system that actually tracks them, how you actually go through each of them, right? And the core lesson here is to track the pipeline. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. You can pretty much already use a free CRM already. You can just find a free CRM. They normally have like a free terms of usage if you don't have sort of a drastic amount of leads coming in. They have usually different CRMs have different capacity for this, but you can start using CRM right away already right now with all the beauty of it. And it doesn't have to be complicated because the pipeline for a plumbing business, especially if you're focusing on homeowners or just commercial property owners, it's pretty much it's pretty limited because essentially you have the opt-in, then you have the survey. If you had an emergency, you pretty much have the survey and the fix right away. If you do installations, you have the survey, then you have the quote, and then you close the deal. It's very quick in this case, right? So you just have to track how many leads you generated, how many surveys you booked, how many quotes you sent, and how many jobs you closed if you're doing installations, right? And when you see the numbers, you see the leaks automatically because by seeing the numbers, you can automatically calculate the conversion rates. You can automatically calculate what exactly is going on throughout each stage of the pipeline and where exactly you're leaking the most and what should you focus on, right? Because maybe you're right now you're already generating this sufficient amount of leads, but you just don't close them efficiently, right? Different things can happen, and if you don't see those metrics, you can't really optimize this, right? And by seeing the metrics, you first of all are able to create the entire system for the specific problem that you have, and also you are able to automate and at least systemize the follow-up process. So this way you can clearly see, okay, so I have this amount of leads in this opt-in stage. I need to get in touch with them to book the survey. Then I have this amount of leads at the survey booked. We'll have a chat with them, and then I will send the quote. And then I have this amount of leads in the quote sent stage, and I just need to follow up with them ruthlessly to close them, right? You can clearly see what's actually going on. And as a bonus for you, I built a simple plumbing lead tracker sheet. It's basically just a plug and play sheet where that clearly allows you to, first of all, track the leads. If you don't use any CRM and you just want to start with something simple, actually build this, and you can use this tracker to track all of your leads. You can pretty much specify all of the nodes that you need, all of the contact details, and also clearly map out the pipeline stages. And also, as a bonus as well, what I implemented there is that you also have the calculation of the metrics as well. You can pretty much calculate all the important conversion rates, and also you can clearly see where you are leaking on the macro level. The only thing that you have to do is just comment tracker under the post where you see this, and I will send this to you right away personally. So just to conclude this again, if you track leads, it allows you to see everything clearly. It allows you to systemize the business way more comfortably. It allows you to scale because you see the percentages. You see if you are in healthy numbers or not. Get the system to the healthy numbers and then scale. Especially if you want to grow, it's a must, right? And as the bonus as well, it allows you to be way more strategic with everything that you do. And actually, by the way, you can clearly see where the problem is internal and where the problem is external. So by internal problem, I mean a specific process problem with the sales process, and the external problem can be the amount of lead that you generally generate, right? And you can clearly see that. And if you just track, if you have just a simple tracking in place, you are pretty much able to get this done right away. And this can improve the business and help you scale by 3 times, 4 times. So you can achieve massive growth with this. And if you're ambitious, I highly recommend you doing this. And if you don't want to bother with this at all, if you just want to have something plug and play, just comment tracker and I will send this to you personally. Okay? Cheers.